Good morning, everyone. My name is Carla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, Carla being Crafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also sometimes other crafts that I'm involved in, although there hasn't been a lot of that lately, and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is my FlossTube number 108. It is Sunday. It is September 12th. So if you are coming here for the first time, welcome. I am so glad to have you here, and I hope that you like what you see. Want to hit like and subscribe, all that stuff. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. It has been a hot week here in Southern California. Pretty hot. It's gotten up in the mid 90s pretty much every day, although we had like a freak overnight like rain showers on a Thursday night going into Friday. And yeah, but it's been hot and not super comfortable. I have a cup of tea with me this morning, my blue tea. I don't know if you can see it better this time than you could last time. When it gets full, then the color is not as apparent. But this is just the pea flower, loose flowers, brewed up. I woke up with, you know, kind of that allergy, scratchy, yucky throat, and I figured before I got turned into a total frog with you guys, I would get some hot tea, take a couple sips. So yeah, so let's get started. First things, I want to say a big thank you to Catherine Sandemeyer and Debbie Sisk for using the Buy Me a Coffee link and sending me a little bit of a tip, I guess, a little monetary gratitude, and I really do appreciate that. It of course is not a necessary thing to do, but it is there if you would like to use it, and I appreciate it so much when you do. So it's there for you. Just an update on some of the stuff I talked about last week. A lot of you had made comments that you hope my brother did really well in the poker tournament that he was in. He did very respectable. He finished in the top third. He didn't win in any kind of money placement. I think he finished like 28th out of almost 80. So is that the top third? It's close to the top third. The reality is, with a game like poker, there is quite a bit of skill involved, and my brother is very good at the game, but you still need to get the good cards, and if you don't get them, you don't get them. So there's only so much you can do. And my brother's pretty like bold about how he bets and stuff. He kind of has a system where you know, depending on how far he is from the blinds, and if you know poker and you study it, it totally makes sense. I don't play that way. That's why I don't play tournaments, and I don't play at table games in Vegas. I play at home games occasionally and enjoy it quite a bit, but I am not wise in the way I play at all. Not at all. So, but he did really well, and more important than that, he had a really good time. So that's really the important thing. So I hope that as the world opens up a little bit, which numbers still are not great, so we're all still trying to be really careful and safe and not really doing much of anything outside the house. But I hope that he has the opportunity to do that a little bit more often, maybe on long weekends, that kind of thing. Okay, so another update I have to give you, which is not as positive. I am having so much trouble setting up this Zoom Pro account. So I've talked to you guys about doing a Zoom meetup. I'm really excited to do it, and I had kind of planned on scheduling the first one for, I guess, 2 weeks from today, which would be, I think, the 26th. But I've been trying for 2 weeks now to upgrade my account from the free basic plan to a paid pro plan, so that we can have, you know, an unlimited amount of time on our meeting. With the free plan, you can still have a meeting, but it shuts down after 40 minutes. And that's such a small amount of time for a group of people to talk and get, you know, and schmooze and that kind of thing, that it's not, it wouldn't be conducive to be doing something with a group like you guys. So I really need to get the pro plan, which I am perfectly happy to do, and I am just having the biggest trouble with the system. It just won't. I get through the whole, you know, there's a form, an online form you fill out, and you put in your payment information, and then you click upgrade, and then it just goes, please wait, and it gets stuck there. And I've tried it on my Chromebook and I've tried it on my phone, so that's 2 different operating systems, and it's just, it gets stuck there. And unfortunately, my experience with the customer service so far is not great. And I think the problem is because I'm such a little fish. You know, I'm an individual. You have to put in a business name, so I put Carla Being Crafty because that is my business. And you know, but it's just me, and so it's more like, you know, for a personal account. It's not a big business account. I don't have a bunch of users. There's just one user, and so I'm a small fish. So they have like an online help thing. It's a bot. It all it does is it just, you put in keywords and it directs you to you know, their help, their FAQs, which all that does is tell you how to upgrade, but it doesn't say what to do if there's a problem with the upgrade. And then of course there is a customer service line, and I've tried twice now, yesterday and then last week as well. Basically I waited on hold for 20 minutes both times, and after 20 minutes then a person came on who was an answering service, who took my name and phone number and what's my problem, and is it a personal or business account. And then they both said, well, they'll call you back as soon as possible. Well, I tried last week and they haven't called in, you know, a full 7 days. So as soon as possible is not very soon, apparently. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try again at work because there's a couple different operating systems I can try there. It's on a PC rather than a Chromebook. I don't know if that's gonna make a difference. If it does, great, then I can get everything set up. If it doesn't, I guess I'll keep trying, but it's just so frustrating. And I've tried, you know, I tried using different credit cards. I tried doing it monthly payment versus annual payment. I tried a bunch of different stuff, and it's just, it gets to that one point and it craps out. So it's just, the system is not going through, and I don't know if they're just overloaded because so many people are using their platform now. You know, and obviously somebody in my position, as far as, you know, I'm not going to be given priority. I'm not giving them the business, the big, you know, I mean, they're servicing schools and big businesses and stuff who are doing virtual meetings now and stuff. So my my little want to have a stitchy Zoom meetup with 10 or 12 of my favorite viewers is not going to be on anybody's radar. So I'll keep trying. If it doesn't work this week, if I can't get it to work, then I'm going to have to put it on hold and maybe try again next month or something, because I can't keep doing it. It's driving me nuts and making me really frustrated and unhappy. I've thought about other platforms. I haven't used anything else. Google has a Hangouts thing. And I'm assuming you guys all have Google, because if you're watching YouTube, then you probably have a Google account. But I've never used it. So I kind of hate to test it out with, you know, a group of people that I'm not as, you know, I don't know you guys in real life, and if it was frustrating or didn't work, I just feel like there's gonna be a whole lot of disappointment. I'm familiar with Zoom. I've been using it for over a year with my friend, so at least I kind of know how it works. And we use it at work as well. Since the pandemic, I showed my boss how to use it so we could do virtual meetings with his clients, which he's done, you know, maybe 10 or so of them over the course. So anyway, that is the Zoom update. So I'm sorry it's not great. If you guys have any suggestions for me, please go ahead and tell me. Just don't, you know, don't be offended if like it doesn't work or I've tried it already. You know, I'm already frustrated with this and I don't want this to be a negative experience for me or you guys, because doing a Zoom meetup I think would be so fun. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted. As I said, I will try at work this week to get it uploaded. Maybe it'll be a piece of cake getting it uploaded when I'm on my PC at work. So if that's the case, which I hope it is, then we should have no problems and I'll get it set up. And anybody who has requested or who does request the info, I will send it out. But if I can't, then I don't know, we'll have to put it on hold and try and figure out something else to do. Yeah. I mean, I guess I could do like, but doing a live doesn't do any good because, I mean, there's a chat, but yeah, I don't think that that's gonna be what I want to do. So we'll see. Okay. That's pretty much all my preamble today. Not a lot. So I don't have any new starts or finishes this week, although I have to say I feel like I'm getting so close to a couple finishes, and yeah, that's making me kind of excited to get, you know, to keep working on those few projects because I want to get them done. I'm so like itching to get finishes, and there's so many things I want to start, but the need to get finishes and get my WIP piled down is greater right now than my need to start new things. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. And then there's a couple projects. I was like looking through my WIP list and stuff, and there's a couple projects that just aren't doing it for me, and I'm on that verge. I really hate the idea of abandoning a project, and if I do decide to kind of put something in timeout semi-permanently, I don't think I'm gonna like actually tear anything apart. I've only done that once. I think I just might put them in a bag and put them away and see, because I did that. I'm having that issue with the autumn cat pattern. I'm not gonna pull it out, but it's the All Forest project that I put it on hiatus, pulled it out again, and I'm still not really enjoying it, and the thought of doing that huge cat is not thrilling me. So it may go on hiatus again. Or if I really think that I'm never gonna finish it, then I might cut out all of the little motifs that are finished and turn them into little tiny things. So that is an option, but I'm not there yet. Okay, so let's get on to my WIPs. There was a couple WIPs I worked on twice this week, so that means that the full list is a little smaller. But yesterday, this is gonna blow your mind, guys, I worked on Village Bookstore, which I have not worked on since January. I just said, oh, it's gonna blow your mind. Like, you are that interested in what I work on. Blew my mind. Okay, let's put it that way. I haven't worked on this since January, and I was like pulling out something to stitch yesterday, and I knew, you know, it was Saturday, I didn't have a lot to do. I have a lot to do in my apartment. I didn't do a lot. I just stitched a lot yesterday. I've been having some back pain this whole week, and today too, which just makes me more of a sloth. So anyway, I wanted to work on a full coverage yesterday, and I was debating, should I do lavender roses, which again I'm itching to get finished, but I don't know, I got in my head, it's like, where am I on Village Bookstore? So I pulled it out and I worked on it. As I said, I have not worked on it since January. This is Randall Spangler, and it's this gorgeous thing, and this is my only full huge Heaven and Earth design. So this is the one that's going to take me forever. I mean, when I only work on it, what, twice a year, it's going to take me even longer. But this is like, you know, a if I get this finished before I die project, then I will have a lot to be proud of. So how many stitches are in this? Let me see if I can find it. This is 450 by 635. So I guess as far as heaven and earth go, that's pretty typical, standard. Yeah. I mean, I just love it. It's gorgeous. There's, I think I counted 15 or 16 hidden cats. Some of them are hidden, some of them are obvious. This is the only one. This doesn't look like a cat to me. It looks like a really big squirrel, but I counted it as a cat. There's cats in the windows. There's one up here. There's a little cat peeking from behind the door. There's like 15 of them. There's one in the, in this tree. They're just all over, all over. And I am still in this little corner up here. So, yeah, so it's not going to probably look all that exciting, except it's exciting to me because I worked on it. I'm doing this on 25 count, easy guide or easy grid or whatever it's called, I never remember. And I'm doing it 2 over 1 10th stitch on my huge hoop. Look how big this hoop is. And I finished the diagonal. So I haven't worked on this, as I said, in let's see, 8 months. And so the first row back was like rough. It was like hard to see, hard to figure out how am I holding the hoop. I got this huge hoop to use in a frame and have abandoned the frame again. Not thrilled with using a frame and having to sit in a chair and stuff. But I have kind of figured out how to do my full coverages just the way I do everything else. Although I do like using the two-handed stitching that you can do when it's in a frame. So someday I may find the perfect stand, or I will be in a situation where I can sit in a recliner or something that a stand will work with. I don't have that kind of piece of furniture right now, that, you know, where a stand could go under it. My day bed is solid on the bottom, so nothing can scoot under and over. You know, it's just, there's nothing that works exactly with my limited space. So anyway, I did, as I said, the first row back was difficult. This does get extremely confetti heavy. And then it has, right now, it has like these sections where it's a lot of, you know, just one color, which is fine because then I can kind of fly through those rows, and then the rows that are confetti heavy, you know, slow me down a bit. But I did like over 600 stitches yesterday. I'm very slow when I'm stitching full coverage, but it was fun to get back to. So hopefully I will not leave it that long again, that I'll pull it out every so often and work on it a little more. Be nice to get into something other than the blues and black. So I had one stitch down here that was like a bright purple, which you can't even see now. It kind of blended in, but oh my god, I was so excited when I pulled out that strand of purple to put one stitch in. Okay, so that is Village Bookstore by Madame Chantilly. Okay, and I was prepping right before I started my video. I didn't even pull my projects out, so I don't know what I was thinking. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all right. I did work on Bellatrix this week. She is currently really one of my favorite projects to work on. She's currently in favor. And this is Bella Filipina. Bellatrix. And I moved up and I started some of the work in the window up here. This is one of my new needle minders that I made with the polymer clay flatbacks. So cute. I think this might be my favorite one. This is my favorite one for me, and then the strawberry shortcake that I got for Stacy. So adorable. I'm gonna show those guys. I'm gonna show you the needle minders that I made. I mean, they look the same on the front, right? But I'm still gonna show it to you in a minute. But anyway, so I worked up in here. The black in this is a Krynic, so it does have a little bit of sparkle. The whole thing is a little sparkly. And then there's beads that will end up going in there. But that big clunk you just heard was my rather rotund kitty flopping down on the floor. Flopping down with his tummy out. So, you know, they say that, you know, a cat is comfortable and loves you and whatever when they expose their belly. Well, he's probably one of the most comfortable kitties when I'm the only one here, because that is one of his preferred ways of laying around me, is to lay on his back, all four legs splayed with his big old tummy hanging out, just ready for me to squish. Okay, Bellatrix. This is Ink Circles, Fire Burn, and Cauldron Bubble that I got out of a Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition magazine. And as you can see, when we pulled it out this month, it was like up here. So it is slowly, not even that slowly, pretty quickly getting finished. So my debate now is if I should go down one of the sides, because I won't count. I mean, I won't just count. I would have to move it down. I tend to, when I stitch, I don't know if I've ever talked to you guys about this before. There's some people that they say they're like color completers, so they'll do all of the color in one pattern first. I'm definitely a I don't even know what you call that. I move from stitch to stitch, so I do not like counting over to a new space. I hate that. So I like things to be kind of connected so that my counts are more likely to be accurate. And it doesn't mean they always are, but more likely. So, but what I'm thinking about with this one is possibly on one of the sides, stitching, you know, whatever the icons down to the corner so that I can actually turn my fabric upside down and stitch that way. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm just going to keep going down or if I'm going to do that and turn around. So it's looking really cool. What's funny is I was working on this last Saturday, I guess, over at Erin and Stacy's, and they were looking at it, and people who are not like, I mean, I think people who are stitchers and are familiar with ink circles, you know that there's things in the patterns. But, you know, this, when they first looked at this, they just thought it was like pretty shapes. And then I'm like, you know, and I said it's Fireburn called Bubble, and they started looking at closer, and it's like, oh, look, that's a cauldron. Oh, look, there's a witch's hat. Oh, look, there's these little imps. Oh, look, there's a ghost. Oh, look, there's a skull. So, you know, from a first glance, it just looks like a kind of cool mandala pattern, but then you look at them closer and you see all the little things inside of it. It's like a hidden puzzle or something. But I'm enjoying this a lot, and I think that it will not be my first my last ink circles. There is another one of the Halloween sort of themed ones in one of the other cross stitch magazines that I have. I don't like that one as well. I do like the ghost one, which I don't have. I would have to purchase. But I have the other half of that purple fabric. So I'm thinking that that might be kind of cool, because my plan on that one, it's little. I'm gonna make it into a little cushion, possibly a walnut shell felt cushion, because I kind of like that hard, you know, thing. So I'm thinking of that, and I did order from Joann's. I ordered some orange pom-poms to go around the edge of it. But it might be cool to take the other half of that purple fabric and do another Halloween-y ink circle. So either the ghost one or the one that I have, the other one, which has, I think, more skull and crossbones kind of things. So it's a little bit more piratey, I think. I don't know. I'll have to pull it out and show you guys. Okay, then I worked on Night Creatures by The Gathering Place. And I started getting, I'm not that close to a finish on this one, but I started feeling like I was kind of like hitting that, and I'm really not. But I realized this is kind of tiny, and I ordered a frame for it already. So I just ordered a small frame from Amazon. I got kind of like a brushed silver, which I think is going to look kind of cool. So I brought the tree down so that I could kind of work in some other colors here. But this is actually, it's a small piece, because it goes probably down to here. This comes over to here just a little bit, and then to here. So and I did make color changes on this, mostly in the pods. I changed them from sort of orange and gold, orange mustard kind of color to red, purple, actually more red magenta coral kind of thing. So I brought more of the pinkiness into it and took out all of the gold and mustard. The cat is actually charted the same color as the tree and everything, which is actually a really dark blue, but I'm actually going to do the cat in a dark purple, so that will be slightly different. Oops. Okay, and then last but definitely not least is Lulu's Studio All Hallows Eve. And again, I feel like I'm really close to finish on this, and I ordered 2 frames actually to choose from for this one. So I got the corn finished, worked on her blouse and part of her skirt. So yeah, so basically there's the cauldron at the bottom, the rest of her skirt and, you know, hands and stuff, and she's holding a broom and a pumpkin pail, and then I have to go across the bottom with this little floor or whatever pattern, and then it's done, which I know is actually a lot when I say it that way, but I still think that I'm definitely gonna get this done before the end of the month. Possibly, I don't want to say this week. I think that's being a little ambitious, but possibly I would get it done next week, which would be before the end of the month. So anyway, I think it's looking really good. I love it. It's a fun pattern to work on. I pulled colors that were somewhat similar to what was called for, but not exactly. And the black that I'm using is actually, I think it's Black Crow, I think, by Gentle Arts. And the one that I have that I'm using is kind of got, well, no, it's Blue Spruce. Yeah, it's Blue Spruce. It's got a lot of green in it. I know some Gentle Arts, like the black, sometimes they have like green in the background, sometimes they have blue, sometimes they have like a maroon it's kind of cool. But the one I happen to have is very green base, so you can look and you can see like the top of her shirt, it came out really kind of green. I guess you can't see it really well on camera. It's really pretty though. But I think that one of the changes I'm going to make, partly because I just am not sure that I have enough of the blue spruce, and I want to make sure that I have enough for like the cauldron and stuff. So the top is the black, so in this case the blue spruce, alternated with gray, and then it's got the orange polka dotted skirt with a black background and the orange polka dots. But I think I'm actually going to use the gray for the base color of the skirt with the orange polka dots. And then I'll use the black for the boots, but I think I'm going to do her tights, her legs, purple. Because I sometimes wear clothes to match my hair, so she would too. And that is my last whip for this week. As I said, I worked on a couple of them more than one day, so I got a lot of work done, but less whips to show. Okay. Oh, there you can kind of see the blue tinge. It actually tastes really good too. So it's cool that it's blue. If you put lemon in it, it'll turn bright purple. But I also like the way it tastes. It's just a mild, it doesn't have like a big, flavor, but it's just, a nice, sweet, warm, tasty tea. Okay, so I don't have really a lot of haul this week. I mean, I bought an Amazon package of the mesh bags because I was getting low, and I do use them for a lot of my organizational stuff around here. I don't really need them for project. I mean, I have all of these like project bag things that are empty right now, but they stack really well. Here's the thing, and it's something I'm coming to admit to myself, even though I hate it. I really like the pretty, book sleeve project bags. I even like these project bags that were from Amazon, and I have 5 of the ones that I made that are real project bags, right? But in reality, to stack them in a small space, the mesh ones stay flatter and slide next to each other easier. So I'm torn. Do I use the pretty ones because I enjoy them? Or do I use these because they actually keep things more organized and I can fit more things in a small space? So I tend to, if I'm working on a project, I put it in a pretty one and put it out here. If the project is in the drawer for the month or a couple months, I take it out of the pretty bag and I put it in one of these, and it fits better in the drawer I have. So, I am a work in progress, you guys, constantly. I'm always changing things up and fixing things and organizing, and I'm never there. I'm happy for a week or two, and then it gets to be a mess again, and I don't know what I'm doing. But that's how I am. Okay, so as I said, that was like the only, haul I had, not too exciting, but I did want to kind of give you an update on the needle minder. So these are the flat backs that I showed you last week that I got from Fairy Dust Clay, and I did put the heavy duty magnets on the back. I ended up putting 2 magnets on each thing. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. The cutest one is definitely this little strawberry shortcake. She's just so cute. And I put 2 magnets on her. And I was concerned because, they're thick. Like, would a needle actually stick to it? And I don't have a needle right here, but I have a hair clip. So Yeah, see? It's strong enough. It's strong enough to hold the needles. But she's really cute. And I just feel like I'm obsessed with these now. I was very careful when I put the magnets on. As I said, I learned from Julie from Stitching at the Cabin to be careful if you're using 2 sets of magnets to make sure that your magnets have the polarity going the right way, or your stuff is gonna fly away from it. So I stacked them up before I like glued them and then separated them so they were going down the same way. So I put 2 on that one. I think, yeah. So Wonder Woman, I only put the 1, but then I put 2 on everything else. So I haven't, those don't have a project yet, but I kind of wanted to wait to use them till I could show them to you guys. And I actually did order a couple more from a different company, just to see, although, you know, they haven't even shipped out yet. So they're all so cute. I'm really happy with these. Okay, and then, yeah, so plans, keep going with what I'm working on. One thing I did kind of just want to touch on, because I hear so many people talk about this, so I think about it, is, you know, are you a process stitcher or a project stitcher? In other words, do you stitch a project knowing, you know, where you're going to put it in your house, and, you know, being really focused on getting a finish, and then being really focused on FFOing stuff? Or are you the kind of person who starts stuff when you want to start it? You don't care how many whips you have. You don't care if you work on it once or you work on it, you know, and then never work on it again. You don't care if you finish things when you do finish things. You don't care if they ever get FFO'd. That's kind of the difference. And I feel like I fall someplace in the middle of that. So I feel like I stitch on things that I feel like they are my style and I would want to display them. I am a bit concerned about how many whips I have, but not so concerned that will stop me from starting things. I do want to get finished. When I don't work on something for a really long time, I feel bad, and it makes me think, like, should I set this aside? Do I really want to work on this? Because I do want to get things finished. However, when I do get things finished, if I don't FFO it right away, it doesn't bother me that they're sitting around. I have 2 projects right now, 3 projects that are completed that I haven't FFO'd. I have Clementine, which I'm planning on doing in a little pillow, pin pillow. I have the Suffragette, which also I wanted to put into a little pillow. And I have my needlepoint. This is the first thing I finished this year. I finished it when I was away on my New Year's trip. I finished this, which also is supposed to be a pillow. So do you see a theme here, that it's the pillows that are sitting around not getting finished because they require me to pull out my sewing machine? Yeah. So I have the materials to finish all 3 of these projects, and I just haven't pulled out my sewing machine in forever. And but I will eventually. It doesn't bother me though. I mean, it doesn't bother me enough to worry about it. Oops. So I feel like I'm kind of in the middle between a process and a project stitcher. I do know that when I get towards the end, or towards feeling like a project is going to be finished, I do start thinking about, like, if I want to FFO it in some unusual way, or if I just want to put it in a frame. And if I want to put it in a frame, what kind of frame am I going to use? So, you know, I have been thinking about that this week because, as I said, I got kind of feeling like I'm close to a finish on some of these more Halloween type projects. And so 2 of them I have ordered frames for, and then I got, as I said, I got orange pom-poms for the Fireburn and Cauldron Bubble project, which I guess will eventually be a pillow, which will require sewing again, so we'll see. We'll see how fast that actually happens. But yeah, so I feel like I'm kind of in the middle. So, I mean, where do you guys fall on that? As you know, I have about 40 whips. And it's gotten to that point where I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. I want to get it down, but again, I'm not so uncomfortable that I'm like, oh, I'm not starting anything until I'm down below X. I'm not starting anything right now because I am on a push for a finish. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll start anything before the end of the year. I kind of get into that, like, I have an itch and I start it kind of thing. And so, you know, I don't have anything planned yet as far as planned starts, but if I get the need or get the feeling, then I definitely will. So anyway, that's where I am. I hope that you guys have a good week coming up. I don't think anything too exciting is happening. Yeah, now I'm thinking about it. My friend who, I've talked about her before, my friend Lori, who kind of unexpectedly last year, around this time actually, moved to the Midwest with her husband. They kind of went on a trip, decided to move, and moved. So I miss her because I haven't seen her in over a year, and she's going to be back this week. So I think she has a wedding or something next Saturday. So Friday night, I'm going to be over at Erin Stacy's. She's going to come over for dinner. So that'll be really great to see her. She's a friend that I've had, a theater friend that I've known since I was like 19. She's 10 years older than me, and our birthdays are like a week apart. So we've always kind of like had that connection of celebrating our birthdays together and everything. So, but not this year. So, but I'm really excited to see Lori. And other than that, you know, I'll be over at Erin and Stacy's next weekend. I don't know that we have any, other than having dinner with Lori, I don't know that we have any exciting plans happening. We were gonna do this movie screening thing, but I guess, you know, it's one of those things where you get a special invitation because they're screening a film before it starts so that they can get feedback, and it got filled up really fast. They're not, I don't think they're taking as many people right now because of COVID. But anyway, so I don't know what other plans we have, but it's always fun to hang out with them. Yeah, other than that, I don't know that anything exciting is happening. I think I'm going to get on a Zoom call this afternoon with my friends, my friend group that we usually do Friday nights, and this week everybody was just pooped out, so we decided to do it on Sunday afternoon instead. So as soon as I get my video uploaded, I think that we're going to have a little Zoom meetup, and I don't know what I'll work on. But since I do that sitting at my desk, maybe I'll bead the lion, the little lion thing. Start that maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I guess you guys will see next week what I worked on. So until I see you again, I hope that you guys have a great week. And please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Carla. Bye.